You haven't read that yet.
Can you read my chicken scratch?
I can.
And we are in business. Oh, goodness, Mark, we're on the cusp, aren't we? Yes. Totally. Makes sense. Mark? Are we all set? Oh. Testing. Oh, we are on still, aren't we? Okay. Yeah, and the clock says 7:30, doesn't it? So, welcome everybody to the Thursday, January 16, 2025 Webster Town Board meeting. The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dean, can you do roll, please?
Supervisor Flaherty.
Here.
Councilwoman Cataldi.
Present.
Councilwoman Wynn.
Here.
Councilwoman Wright. Here. Attorney to the town Taylor.
Here. Okay, I'm going to take a little executive privilege. I mentioned this at the end of the workshop about 20 minutes ago. We're going to move resolution number 9 up to the first action we do tonight. Before our open to the floor, each speaker will be allowed 5 minutes. At the workshop, Jerry Goldman from Woods Oviatt presented for the Ideal Group and Destroyer family, and the McMahon Group, about what they're looking conceptually to do at their current manufacturing location, which I think has been there almost 20 years, right, Ben?
Correct.
So the board heard that presentation, asked questions, and if in less than the last 20 minutes they have any other questions or comments,
I do not. It was a good presentation.
then I am going to make a motion to refer the Ideal Group Manufacturing Expansion Project at 999 Picture Parkway to the Planning Board for purposes of conducting a site review, whereas this action is a type 2 under the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act. As such, no further environmental review is required at this time.
Second. Supervisor Flaherty.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wright. Aye. Councilwoman Cataldi.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn. Aye.
Thank you very much.
You guys want to hang out and watch the rest, or if you want
I'll watch on TV.
to read the book or wait for the movie? All right. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Good luck.
Okay, now I need to go out to see if anybody signed in to speak, and nobody did sign in, but that doesn't mean maybe somebody changed their mind and wants to take the podium to speak up to 5 minutes on anything they have to say. Does anybody want to do that? Rick? Art? Nobody? Well, Art, well, you're not a citizen, I don't think. Well, no, you are.
It's a citizen of somewhere.
That's right. Okay, well, Denny, I think the universe is telling us that there is no one that wants to speak tonight. So we're going to move on to the next item, which are 2 board meeting minutes up for review tonight. And they both relate to January 2nd. 2 weeks ago, we had our organizational meeting to set up the Town of Webster government for the year 2025. I'll review those minutes and make a motion that we approve them.
Second.
Supervisor Flaherty.
Aye.
Councilwoman Cataldi.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wright. Aye.
And then we also had our regular town board meeting from January 2nd. I reviewed those minutes and make a motion we approve those.
Second.
Supervisor Flaherty.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn.
Aye.
Councilwoman Cataldi.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wright. Aye.
Patty, it was you, was it not?
It was, I reviewed the bills on Monday, I believe it was. Everything was in order, and I would move that we pay the bills.
Second. Councilwoman Cataldi,
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn, Supervisor Flaherty,
Aye.
Councilwoman Wright. Aye.
Paul, is there anything interesting in the, no, these aren't transfers or amendments, sorry. With the brain, whatever. I have a review of the prepaid warrants as submitted by Paul Adams, our Director of Finance, and make a motion to approve those.
Second. Supervisor Flaherty,
Aye.
Councilwoman Cataldi,
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn,
Aye.
Councilwoman Wright. Aye.
And I reviewed the purchase orders as submitted by Paul Adams, our Director of Finance, and make a motion to approve those.
Second. Supervisor Flaherty,
Aye.
Councilwoman Wright,
Aye.
Councilwoman Cataldi,
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn.
Aye.
So I apologize, I don't know, amendments and transfers, I always like to have you kind of just go over it. We don't have any of those. No, no. Plus, I'm trying to buy a little time to have the knee catch a breath after that, sprint. Now, the next item up tonight is one that I'm really interested to hear from Rick Canale and Art Patron about what exactly in layman terms is the board voting on this resolution.
Well, I'm going to leave this to the esteemed chief plan operator, Rick Canale.
They will be voting on to advertise for bids to go out for headworks analysis study, which what that does is it develops our local limits, and that's what allows industries to discharge certain limits of different analysis and parameters. And EPA, actually we have a EPA regulated pre-treatment program, so we highly recommend that we do this regularly. The last one was done in 2010. So when they look at it, they state that if you have new industries coming in, or if you've had compliance issues, or if you're upgrading your facility, even changing how you process your sludge, where that's going to go, they highly recommend a study like this. So the engineer company will come in, set up all the sampling protocol for us. It's pretty involved. We have to sample all throughout our facility and out in the field. We sample domestic and industry. And they develop our, if the local limits need to change or not, what we can handle those treatment plans.
Well, you check a few of those boxes.
Yep, check all of them. Yeah.
I'm curious, the advertisements go in the Webster Herald, do these engineering companies monitor the local paper for that? Seems like that's not something you'd see.
Right, so it's similar to all RFPs we sent out. We will also reach out to qualified vendors,
Okay, great.
make them aware.
Would this cost extra for this evaluation?
Yeah.
How much more are we talking
We
about?
did budget it, it's been budgeted for this project, somewhere between $25,000 and $30,000.
It was in with the,
25 budget, been budgeted.
okay.
We won't know the final price until we receive bids back to qualification.
However, in the wastewater recovery business, this is just the cost of doing business.
Yes, it is.
And also, another box to check is we are having an EPA inspection coming up. It's supposed to be in the fall, they haven't reached back out again, and they will be having to know that we are going through the process. Or I'm sure they might probably make it in the first one. That'll be on the front.
Yes.
When I looked at it, I said, I have no idea what this is about. Now I know exactly what it's about.
I looked and I had the same reaction, but I called to find out and spoke with Rick the other day on the phone. So if there are no other questions, I would authorize the town clerk to advertise and solicit requests for proposals from qualified engineers to develop and implement a plan to update the town of Webster Sewer Department local limits included in the town's industrial pretreatment program and sewer use ordinance. Advertisement to be in the Webster Herald on January 22nd, 2025, with proposals to be opened on February 13th, 2025.
Second. Councilwoman Cataldi,
Aye.
Councilwoman Wright,
Aye.
Supervisor Flaherty,
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn.
Aye.
Thanks, guys. Well, the next one's really exciting because if we have to have any explanation from either Paul Adams, our finance director, or Pat Stevens, our highway superintendent, Pat Stevens brought some muscle. He brought a bouncer. Didn't you?
Brought some backup just in case there's any problems.
Thank you. Yeah, so the next portion is something we do every year. So it's an agreement between the town board and the town supervisor and myself, the highway superintendent or the highway department, to spend the funds that were budgeted in the 2025 operational budget. So it represents the entire general road repair and capital road repair that was as approved in the 2025 budget. So the numbers you see in there can be directly correlated to the budget that's already been passed, but we have to have an agreement between the two parties in order to spend them for these specific things. It has some more details about what roads we're working on and stuff like that, but it's really the formalization of an agreement for something that's already been budgeted for through our annual budget process. So not too exciting, although the numbers are large. You get to see, what we're spending on the roads in general and the capital projects, and where some of them are. But it's something that's already been budgeted.
You want to know some? Oh, sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
That's okay.
Yeah, this is highway law,
Yep.
and I think basically the highway superintendent has a right to spend funds without anyone questioning it, as he sees fit.
So as usual, Paul is a straight man leading right into our content. This is, I think, the 5th year that I've been at the dais when we do this resolution, because we do it every January and whatever, and it was explained to me the first year that this is highway law, New York State highway law. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It never really resonated with me until a couple of weeks ago that there's a lot of highway superintendents in New York State that are elected. And because of that, they are really separate from the town board, and that's why in those situations, tied to highway law, you do need a town board resolution, giving the money over, and it's yours as the highway superintendent to use accordingly. And most recently, in the last couple of weeks, I saw an article, in the news, about an alleged crime where town board members broke into the highway garage where they didn't have any right to do that. And the highway superintendent brought up charges on it. I was like, wow. And I'm like, I'll bet you dollars and donuts, that's an elected highway superintendent, and they got some bad blood between the town board and the highway superintendent in that situation. I don't know if that would be dangerous, but I am very glad that we appointed our highway superintendent after a robust process a few years ago, and we got the person that we wanted. So hopefully we'll never have you in that situation.
And someone who's doing a
Agreed.
fabulous job.
Yeah, so, yeah. Elected highway superintendents, well, whatever, I can go, so somebody who is popular can become the highway superintendent with no background in the things that you need to have?
There's a lot of positions like that.
How very true.
Oh, we better just stop right now.
Yeah, let's stop.
Look at Kyle laughing, the skill set of being a town supervisor. You got the most votes. That's a skill. Okay. Any questions or comments from the
Conversation went sideways.
It did.
Yes. We'll make a resolution to authorize an agreement between the highway superintendent and the Webster Town Board to spend 2025 highway funds in the amount of $1,945,671 for general repairs and $419,535 for permanent improvements. And the streets that are in scope for 2025 are Crescent View Drive, Shanley Drive, and Pellet Road. So there was some work over in that Crescent View, Shanley, some other streets last year.
Yep, yes, this is a continuation of the same general area that's in the worst disrepair that we have right now, that we're continuing to do, yeah. So the last few capital or permanent improvement projects have been adjacent to one another, kind of section by section, and we do as much as we can do each year. Yeah, the last few years have been connected. Pellet will be the first one that's sort of in a different section of town, and then kind of review each area and move to wherever we need to go.
I will second that motion.
Councilwoman Wright? Aye. Councilwoman Capelli?
Aye.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
So did you hear the size of the money that your dad deals with? Pretty big, huh? Yeah, pretty impressive.
Is there an allowance in your home?
Oh, boy.
None of the $2 million here will be spent on anybody's allowance.
That's correct.
The allowance comes out of the paycheck.
That's right.
I'm gonna take a guess on something here. Is Mom working tonight? Yep, there you have it. So you didn't volunteer to come to this board meeting with your dad? Yeah, no, you didn't, did you? Too bad the cameras can't see this because, how old?
7.
7, yeah.
Unfortunately, this column, I can't see it.
You can't see?
No.
That's
For once I can see.
adorable. Yeah, sorry, Matt, you know.
It's okay.
Alrighty, well, we're moving on. So, the next resolution is to appoint Sarah Nowak, who's already a member of the Board of Assessment Review, to really re-up her term on that, another term on that board. And Jennifer, I know you as the assessment liaison. This is kind of an unusual board compared to other citizens boards because all the other citizens boards are calendar year boards. This one uses the assessment calendar.
Yeah.
September, I don't quite understand why September is the termination.
Probably when they close out the increase session.
But she, Sarah, her term actually expired in September 30th of '24, but because, I don't know, it just kind of fell through the cracks of re-upping her. But now that the assessment season is starting up, Donna was like, our assessment, we need to paper this up, is that what it
Yep.
calls? That the way you understand it, Jennifer?
Yeah, it is, and I will make a motion to appoint Sarah Nowak as a member of the Assessment Review Board for a term of 5 years, ending September 30th, 2029.
Second.
Councilwoman Wright?
Aye.
Councilwoman Capelli?
Aye.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
In the next one, actually, this is a product of our the portal that we opened in the November, December timeframe for the citizens boards, and we try to, see what people throw their name in the ring to be on one of our citizens boards. And we had pretty robust participation this year for planning board. Tony Kashani, the chair, and Josh Artuzo, our community development director, and myself actually interviewed 3 candidates, and the bummer of it is that all 3 were excellent. And, we're trying to work with the 2 that didn't get the position to try to, where can we get that into our system? We need to get some good talent into, whether it's conservation board or zoning board, I'm all about let's stockpile this young talent. Oh, I'm not supposed to say young.
Nothing wrong with that.
But this gentleman, I gotta tell you something, and I didn't, he is not here tonight. He said, should I come? I said, you don't have to. but if you want to, that's your. Drazen, I don't think I'll break any confidentiality on this, he lives kind of right across, or within reason, of Holy Trinity Church up on Ridge Road. A couple years ago, when I met him, is because the Historical Society, we went out and put the placards, house built in 1845, still maintains this, whatever, on his house. At that time, this was like 3 years ago, he was holding like a 1.5-year-old baby, and his wife was pregnant with her second. His wife sings at Holy Trinity Mass. She has a beautiful voice. And now they have a 3.5-year-old, a 2-year-old, and she is due in a couple months with her third. Pretty cool.
Very cool.
You saw this guy's resume. Very impressive guy. For the youth that he has, he's been in front of a lot of town boards in his position with engineering firms and this and that. We thought this was a home run to get out of the planning board. So there's my, does anybody have any questions or comments about Drazen before we
No, I think it's wonderful to see someone who's obviously very busy with a career and does have a young family. And we all know that both of those add up to not a lot of spare time. It's great to see that there's a willingness and a desire to engage with the hometown.
It's also nice to see new talent rotating through some of these boards. It is a long term, and the term allows you to get through 7 years, so that there's continuity, which is important, but 7 years is a long time. And having an opportunity to have fresh perspective is always a good thing.
So without further ado, I make a motion to appoint Drazen Gossage as a member of the Webster Planning Board for a term of 7 years ending December 31st, 2031.
Second. Supervisor Flaherty.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wright. Aye. Councilwoman Cataldi.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn.
Aye. The next is a resolution to authorize the supervisor to sign the Microsoft licensure agreement 3-year contract in the amount of $65,870.16 annually for a total of $197,610.48 over the 3-year contract.
Second. Councilwoman Cataldi.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wright. Aye. Supervisor Flaherty.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn.
Aye.
Well, Steve Peace will be very happy tomorrow morning when our IT director has been sweating this one, not so much that he didn't think that we would approve it, but he's been here 20 years and he's watched Microsoft licensures price just, and also our users, people that use the computers and devices out in the field and whatever. It's a cost of doing business, especially in this technological based world.
Fortunately, it is.
We're down to our last one, and Patty, you said you're going to read off every one?
There are two, and I did tell you that if it was before 8 o'clock, I was going to read all 37 of these items with their asset tag numbers. I will not do that. I will make a motion to approve the following items for recycling from the sewer department as listed in our agenda. There are 37 of them.
Second. Councilwoman Cataldi.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn.
Aye.
Supervisor Flaherty.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wright.
Aye.
And I will make a resolution to approve the following items for recycling for the highway department. Mine's much easier. There's 2, cardiac EED device and a Dell laptop.
Second. Councilwoman Wright. Aye. Councilwoman Wynn. Aye. Supervisor Flaherty.
Aye.
Councilwoman Cataldi.
Aye.
Now, usually we do the round table. I'm going to make another executive decision. We're not going to do that tonight because I'm making a motion for us to go into executive session under section 105 of the New York State Public Officers Law, section 1, subsection, I will say F. Yes, F. And that is my motion.
Second. Supervisor Cleary?
And I revise, I'm sorry, my motion, or I need to give the invitees. It is the town board members, obviously, the town legal counsel, Kyle Taylor is here, and it is just Chief Kohlmeyer, and Captain Reed. And town finance director, Paul Adams. That's my motion with invitees.
Second. Supervisor Cleary?
Aye?
Councilwoman Wright?
Aye.
Councilwoman Pataldi?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Okay, well, that concludes the public part of our meeting tonight, so we'll be going off air. And we won't be coming back at because the meeting will be over after the executive session. And I will make sure you can, when we come out,